Hello and welcome to another walkthrough for Chrysalis, the premier church child theme for Divi. In this walkthrough, we're going to be reviewing the header of the site and all of the menus that are employed on the site. So first of all, let's take a look at all the menus. This is your main menu, which typically is visitor-centric, using plain language that they would understand and enticing them to get involved in your church. It also works for congregants too, but it's mainly focused on visitors. This is your top corner menu. It's mainly geared towards people that already have a relationship with your church, so your congregants, and has the kind of things that they might readily look for. In your footer, you'll find what's typically called the quick links menu. We've labeled it the footer menu in Chrysalis, but it basically has all the things that people might try to get to easily that they'd find in the footer. The one that's not here that is sometimes here is if you have a job. That's usually a link that's found in this menu. There's one more place where you can find menus in Chrysalis, and that is the contextual menus, which are on most of the pages. Here's an example of the About contextual menu, which contains all the pages that fall under About. I want to take a second to show you how the menu changes in mobile view. You'll notice that in mobile view, your main menu is up here. It's nice and stylized. And your top corner menu becomes your bottom app menu. A very app-like menu that contains some of the common things that members might want to do. In addition, it contains this little up arrow, which will allow people to jump back to the top of whatever page they're on, which is handy when you have a long page you're scrolling through. All of these menus can be found under Appearance Menus, and you'll see that there's the About menu, the Corner menu, the Footer menu, the Get Involved menu, the Main menu, the News and Events menu, which is not currently in use, the Standalone Ministry menu, which is for your standalone ministry page, and the Worship menu. Your top level menu items that don't have pages attached to them, there's no About page, there's just the pages within the About. They have some special coding on them that gives them a cool little arrow that turns down and that makes them unclickable so that the little hand doesn't replace the cursor when you're hovering over them. That is facilitated by this unclickable CSS class. And so anytime that you create a new top level menu item that's not meant to be clicked, that you just hover over it to get the sub items, you should use this unclickable class. And I'll note that preschools, so your standalone ministry pages that are top level pages, they don't have it. And any other top level pages you wanted, you would just keep the unclickable class off of it and it should still work as expected. Furthermore, I'd like to point out that some of these menus, particularly the contextual menus that are up in the corner, are contained within widgets. And so you'll see each of those menus are contained within their own widget here. And this is important because Divi isn't pulling in the menu directly, it's pulling in the widget using the sidebar module. Last but not least, I want to show you how to change the global header and the menus that are contained in it. So the global header is built in the Divi theme builder, which is becoming a more common way to build headers. You just have so much more control over them when they're in the theme builder. All right, so here you'll see your global header. This just utilizes the menu module, including the logo. This would be the place you would go to change your main site logo. I'll just quickly notice that this has an effect on it, that when you hover over it, it gets brighter, which is a cool little feature. And then over here is your corner menu. Now, I wouldn't mess with these too much. It is kind of limited. You're limited to about 3 short menu items here. The column widths for these 2 columns are set in the custom CSS for each column. And so that is how you would change them. You would go in and tweak the sizes within each column. Finally, I'd just like to note that I would keep the search icon here. There's a couple other places where you can search for things, but this search function in Divi is the best one at picking up all the special custom post types we've employed. And I know I said finally, but I guess I'll say finally. You should also know that the sizing for all of your menu items is dynamic. It's using VWs, and so it changes with your screen size, and the padding between each menu item is also using VWs. And then these are also dynamic. This is important because it means that you have a completely dynamically sizing menu that will allow you to pretty much work on any screen. I will say that you could probably add 1 or 2, maybe 2 more menu items across, but of course we all know the rule that 5 or 6 is the best for most websites anymore, and you're probably giving your users too much information to chew on. All right, that concludes our look at the header and all of the menu options. Thank you, and be sure to check out our other walkthroughs.